Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 25 with the Detroit Tigers. In our first season, we actually did surprisingly well. We took a team that had lost a lot of games the year before and improved them by a fair bit. Now, this might actually have been counterproductive. Ordinarily, I like to see my teams get better. However, this put us in a position for a not as good draft pick. Um, we are presently selecting 13th, which is terrible. Now, part of it too is the addition of the two new clubs, the new Angels and the new Senators, which definitely push us back on the pylon, but that is less than great. To be picking in the middle of the first round when we only have a few players. It's going to take a lot for us to be a competitive team year in and year out. Especially because, and I realize this in hindsight, taking Wilbur Wood was a bad decision. Because he's so far away from the major leagues, it is what it is. But we're not gonna have him on the roster for at least another year, maybe two. And while that's fine, it does leave us somewhat shorthanded in the short term. We need help in the outfield. We need help. Um, at second base potentially. We just need a lot of help right now. And the draft is the only consistent way to find it. So, Washburn and Cuellar do make a pretty nice 1-2 punch in terms of starters, but I don't think it's enough. And our bullpen is uninspired. So, a lot of work to get done. However, having both Ron Fairley, who can play the outfield, and Don Mincher does help us out. Go back to right field. You're not playing first. I need outfielders. I don't need a second first baseman. But I do think Don Mincher has a chance to be a really good one. So at the very least, there we're in okay shape. Who's playing second for us? It's going to be an important question we'll have to deal with here. Ron Hansen's a fantastic shortstop. I would like him to learn another position. So let's actually start with player development. I don't normally start with this, but I probably should be doing it more often. I want him to learn a new position. I think that's going to be huge as far as us becoming the kind of team we need to be. I need him to have the flexibility to shift to, say, second base if we need him to. Where'd you go, fucker? Ron Hansen. Pick up a new position, if you please. Let's look at our prospects. Wilbur Wood, I want to get some good training in on. We'll do that. And let's have you work on your control. Look, Wilbur Wood's a knuckleballer. Control's going to be the thing he's going to struggle with the most. He also throws very hard for a knuckleballer. Um, Most knuckleballers don't crack the 90 miles an hour thing, so he could be a really special pitcher. Once he's fully developed, it's just gonna take him a while. Okay. Um, Interesting. Don Mincher doesn't really have anything to improve that right now, offensively. So I guess they're saying that when he's like a mega tier first baseman, he'll be truly elite. I'm gonna have him work on his quality of contact. Now he is pretty stupid. He's lazy and he's not very adaptable. So mm, he's a great hitter, and I can't afford to piss him away. But that is something we're gonna want to keep our eyes on. Hawk Harrelson is probably going to play the outfield for us, but the first step there, as always, play discipline. Never the wrong answers. Dennis Bennett needs to work on his control. And Pat Jarvis, super hard, needs to work on his control. Okay. Any new coaches to hire? Yes, I need a new third base coach. You're pretty great. Let's promote you. Yeah, that feels pretty good. He's legendary at teaching the infield. Let's have him go there. That opens up outfield for Horner. That feels really good. Like we've got a really nice mix of roles here. That's going to be super helpful. And then the AI can hire our tens of thousands of minor league coaches. So many minor league teams. Any free agents worth pursuing potentially? Maybe. Mm, I don't love Eli Gerba. We're desperate enough for pitching help that I will pursue him, but he's not a great pitcher because his control is terrible. His control is terrible. And for a guy that doesn't throw very hard, that's a terrible thing to be bad at. However, beggars can't be choosers, and he's at least an interesting enough pitcher. I'm gonna offer you. I don't want to fuck around with this. I got plenty of money. I'll offer you 10 grand if you sign with me. Like I just don't want to be dicking around with you. So I won't. Sammy White is an okay catcher. He's not great in the slightest, but he's okay. I think it's worth offering him a contract. And if he takes it, he takes it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I don't really care. But he's interesting enough that I want to give him a chance. Earl Wilson doesn't move the needle. He's another guy who's terrible at control. Okay. So it a little bit of time. We're in the really awkward position of a team's development where I don't have a very deep minor league system, so I didn't have the pieces I need to get veteran contributors. Like I just don't have that option. Any Gold Glovers from the Tigers? Luis Aparicio won at third base. Nice. Any old friends here? Veda Pinson and Harvey Haddix. Fucking Harvey Haddix, man, is just a pitching defensive machine. You'd love to see it. I wonder if we look at awards, NL Gold Glove winners, who has won the most Gold Gloves as a pitcher? It's definitely Harvey Haddix in the National League. What about the American League? He is tied with Lefty Williams for most Gold Gloves all time, so he only needs to get one more and he'll break that record. Nice. How many 10-time Gold Glove winners? It doesn't look like. Lou Boudreau won a shit ton of them, though. So 7 is the record for the American League, with Lou Boudreau winning it 7 years in a row. Nope, Buddy Rosar had 8. What about over in the National League? So currently, Buddy Rosar is the best defender based on Gold Glove awards, which are not always the best. Frank McCormick has 7. Mickey Cochran has 11. There's a 10-timer. Poor William Kelly finished just shy of 10. Eddie Ost has 8. So we've had some good defenses. Although our best defender by far as Mickey Cochran, who won 11 years in a row. Well, sorry, 11 of 12 years. He didn't win in 27 for whatever reason. So, cool. I wish it was a little bit more accessible. The history is why I played this game. I love seeing how players and teams develop over time. I wish it was a little bit easier to break down awards, and especially, I wish the Hall of Fame was sortable. Okay, the Hall of Fame is sortable, but it's not sortable when you're actually trying to decide who to pick. And I wish people had career stats. Damn, good job, Stu Miller. I wish people had career stats on their player profile. Not career stats. Um, Career leaderboard appearances. I think would be really cool. I think that would be a lot more fun to me. To me. Because I can't get enough of that shit. I want to be able to compare people a little bit more efficiently than you can right now. AL Silver Slugger winners. We have nobody. I am not surprised. Cleveland has an awfully potent offense. Um, that's going to be their calling card. Left field must have sucked this year for a guy with not even two full WAR to win left fielder of the year. Ray Washburn finished third in rookies. Nice. Charlie Wagner got the Cy Young. Not a surprise. Hank Aaron is your unanimous MVP winner. Pretty outstanding season. And Ernie Banks, wow. An actual tied MVP. So I wonder why Ernie Banks got it. I wonder why they didn't both get it. Oh, he did. Okay. Yeah, they actually both got the MVP. Damn, look at all those. Man, that guy used to be the general manager of the Cardinals. Must have known what the fuck he was doing. Look at all these amazing players from there. I have never seen this in OTP, seeing a tied MVP. That's super cool. And they both get credit for it, too. Right? Ernie Banks, 52 home runs. You're the co MVP. He's like, really? Really? Yes, really. But cool. Yes, we do have a draft to concern ourselves with here, so we'll have to think about that one. I will give you 25 grand as a signing bonus. Like that is guaranteed money in your pocket. So don't be fucking weird, man. I think the expansion draft is gonna hurt us badly. Unless people just don't care. Like they're just like, we don't give a shit about your players, which is fair, but damn it, Hanson, you dumb son of a bitch. Mike Cuellar, work on your secondary pitches, please. Let's try to improve your stuff. Your stuff. Hall of Fame vote. I'm gonna submit ballot on a blank ballot. That would have been a dick move. Lefty Bo, I think, makes it. I think that's pretty obvious. I'll vote for Campy. Any big names? I mean, we keep having the same pitchers year after year that can't get over the hump. It is what it is, I suppose. Um, Monty Irvin should have made it a while ago. I don't know why he keeps getting overlooked, but it's definitely not correct. None of these first timers are terribly exciting. Larry Doby, definitely. I'll vote for Larry Doby every day of the week. I'll toss a vote to Carl Furillo. I don't think he necessarily makes it, but I'd have no problem with just tossing a handful of votes here and there. And I think that's it. I think I just leave this last spot open. I could vote for Harry Breachin, I guess. There we go. I want to see what we get in the draft before I decide on who is going to be let go and who's going to be kept around. Okay. Charles Grimsley has opened a car dealership. Nice. Gerba signed. I've had a feeling he would. All right, how deep is this draft? Is the most important question for us because Well, look, we can take whatever we can get. I really want to try to get a blue chipper if we can. If there's enough in this draft. OSA seems to think there might be. We're a little bit less. Um, we're a little bit less. Yes, this guy's definitely. It's a good draft for pitching, which is good. We do need pitching pretty desperately. Um, I do want to get some more position players as well, but there's some reasonably good down market position players in this one. Guys like your Tony Olivas, your Tommy Aggies, your Lou Brocks. There's some value to be had in the second round there. Short of one of the cream of the crop falling to us early, I think we're going to target a pitcher with our first round pick again. Let's see who's still left. Hmm. Joe Moeller is really good. Like, he's adaptable, he works hard, he's almost a finished product. He just needs to work on his control. There's a lot to like about Joe Moeller. A lot to like about Joe Moeller. And I think if we're going to try to compete in at least the medium term, we need these players that are a little bit more polished. I think Moeller is the choice. Is it? Is it? Lee May plays the outfield fairly well. I do want outfield help. I do. And he certainly seems to offer that. Huh. If we're prepared to suck, Lee May is the right call. Because we need bats in this organization pretty desperately, and he seems like he'd be a pretty good choice to patrol an outfield corner. Um, Here's the thing. I think Joe Mueller gives us a quicker path to respectability. And the thing is, if I don't take May, there's no way he falls to me in the second. I could keep collecting Baltimore Orioles and get Dave McNally, but he's apparently the dumbest person in recorded history. I'm gonna take Moeller. I might regret this one, but without there being a clear this person will transform your offense, I want to take the polished pitcher that can help us a bit sooner. That's my thinking anyway. And we're already low in the draft here. Mel Stottlemyre is a really good potential pick. Uh, yeah, I think we take Mel Stottlemyre, and we'll just offer him whatever it is that he wants. Okay. Jerry Buchak is fine. He's just not great. Jake Gibbs has a lot more positional flexibility, even though I don't think he's got the bat for it. I think his flexibility makes him a little bit more valuable, so I think we'll go ahead and select Jake Gibbs and meet his salary demand. Sandy Alomar Sr., the father of the catcher. Maybe. Maybe. This draft got really bad in a hurry. There's just nothing of value left in this draft. Like, the best contact hitters are trash. Like, I guess Steve Bailey is okay. If he can develop his control, he'll be a decent pitcher, so I will take him. But this is not a draft that is overwhelmingly full of quality players. This is the worst possible year to have a top-heavy draft, in my opinion. For us, because we're picking so low in the first round. Not you. You. You want 31,000. I will give you 35,000. It's only money. I have lots of it. You want 40,000. Holy shit, Sandy Elmar. Here's 50. Um, John Bauer is kind of mid, but there's enough upside there that with a little bit of luck, you could turn into a pretty good pitcher. You can never have too many quality defensive catchers in your organization. They help develop your pitchers lower in the rungs. Fine with that. Ramon Montoya can't hit. Jerome Kelly can't hit. He's a great defensive outfielder, though. Like, he's got that going for him, which is nice. Is it worth $2,000? Maybe. Joe Solomine, trash. Tomaselli plays a bunch of positions fairly well. So I guess because they have so much money, there's no downside to signing people. And if it turns out they suck, they just suck. But it at least gets people in the organization, so potentially we can figure it out. Uh, Kenneth Fruchter, how much does he want for someone who has literally no skills? He wants $30,000. No, at a certain point, a 35th round draft pick doesn't get to dictate terms like that. I'm gonna shortlist you just because I want to see if you ever turn into anything, but that's ridiculous. Um, you are badly misunderestimating your value there, my friend. Okay, let's submit our protection list. Look at the expansion draft. They can take at most 3 people. Okay. Okay. Landis, Minoso, and Bailey are all guarantees. Mincher makes it. Miller, Oliver. Why is Jim Davenport just hanging out in the minor leagues? We could definitely make use of him. 100%. In fact, I'm not even gonna wait. You're going to the big leagues, my dude. And I will also go ahead and place you on the 40 man. Beyond them. Aparicio is really useful, but he's also limited offensively. I don't know how I feel about pushing hard to keep him. I will put Eli Gerba on the list. I think we need to keep him around. Frank Sullivan we can keep around. Skinner and Spangler can both be added to it. Oh, Eddie Casco is our second baseman. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, Casco definitely gets to stick around then. He's a pretty good second baseman. I guess the benefit of keeping Aparicio is to use him as a backup. But he's also worth $57,000. I just don't see that being that valuable. When we have a guy like Jim Davenport who takes most of his defensive skill and also adds the fact he's also a decent hitter with a bit of upside with the bat. I don't remember why I sent him to the minor leagues, but I kind of wish I hadn't. Because I think he's a really good player, and we should have kept him on the roster, so that's on me. Jerry Lynch is useless. He offers nothing. So if someone wants to draft him, they're welcome to him. There's a lot of uninteresting players here. Yeah, like the only other player I would even consider putting on the list is Aparicio. And I guess the benefit of keeping him around is the fact that he can handle shortstop if we need him to, and he's also a good defender. I wonder if we could teach him second base at some point. That would make him more valuable to me. But I will go and put him on the 40 man or the 15-man roster. I honestly don't care about anyone else here. I truly don't care. If anyone else wants to grab him, they're welcome to it. Done. We're gonna zippity doo dah down to the expansion draft, and we're gonna simulate that. Autocomplete. All right, let's look at our log and see who, if anybody, was selected in the expansion draft. We lost Jerry Lynch, John McDevitt, and Harry Anderson. McDevitt was potentially worth keeping, but he only plays shortstop, and I just don't think he's that useful. Harry Anderson, I don't give two shits about. Jerry Lynch, I give negative two shits about. So that's not too bad. We didn't really lose anything of value, so I am completely fine with that. Let's head into the Rule 5. Lean green, minimal life to it, and a diet of only green foods along with cleansing pills. Oh no. Oh no. My poor dude. My poor dude. Does that hurt him, like scouting wise? I have to know. Maybe. We'll see later. That's funny. Um when I was gosh, I think I would have been in high school. When my sister got on a real big health food kick. And she was having everybody drink wheatgrass smoothies. They were fucking terrible. Um cannot recommend them, cannot unrecommend them enough, we'll say. Um Gene Oliver is legit. He is a legit baseball player. Where did this guy even come from? I don't know. I don't know, but he's definitely going to make the roster. I feel pretty confident about that. Okay. Rule 5 eligible people. I feel like after the amount of money I spend for Gerba, we have to give him a 40-man spot. But beyond that, I don't think so. Let's see if there's any quality Rule 5 types in this draft. Lou Johnson sucks. Don Zimmer sucks. He's also a jerk. Cliff Cook isn't terrible. He's fairly well rounded as a position player, and he's got some good offensive chops. I'm willing to give him a look in spring training. We can always use more backup infielders. It's our old pal Mudcat is currently on the list. Um, he's not a terrible pitcher. He just doesn't have a lot of upside anymore. Good old Chuck Churn. No, that's a no from me, dog. I think there's not a lot in this draft to get excited about. Billy Moran isn't bad. Um, this guy's name was Chuck Hitler. I genuinely thought his name was Chuck Hitler, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? That's this Hitler. That's a font moment right there. Jerry Kindle is error prone, which makes him highly sus. Yeah, we can take Mudcat and we can give him a chance on our organization potentially. And then I'm just gonna autocomplete. There's just not that many good players in this draft. Not Kenneth Myers. Not Kenny. Kenneth Myers, admittedly, is actually a decent pitcher. But regardless, let's zippity doo dah down to spring training. We've got some decent players. I just think we're going to suffer in the midterm because we don't have elite players. Um, no, a guy like Moeller developing quickly, I think pitching might be our path to victory. Um, who made the Hall of Fame? Lefty Bo's the only one. I do not know why people not vote in Monty Irvin at this point, but what the fuck ever, man. What lay fuck ever. You earned the nothing earned achievement. I've earned many achievements in this game. Okay. I know I have lots of money. I understand that. I guess it's worth stepping up our budgets here. If I do like 200 grand, I know it's gonna stop me, but it'll get me to where I need to be. And I'll do 130. I'm just too lazy to type it in. There we go. Done. Yeah, especially with 10 teams in the AL, and I still think there's just the one round of playoffs now. I might need to double check on that one. Ray Washburn getting worse certainly isn't going to help us. Certainly not. Damn, guys, that's a championship level trade right there. What is the present playoff arrangement? Oh, it doesn't say. Okay. Only division winners qualify. Okay. And there are no divisions, so yeah, it's still just the World Series. Okay. Okay. I don't love that for us, if I'm being honest with you. I don't love that for us. All right, Joe Moeller, Dennis Bennett. Would you quit going back to OSA and use my own fucking scout that I pay so much money for? Wait, why all of a sudden do we think Mike Cuellar sucks? OSA thinks he's amazing. We just think he's dog shit all of a sudden. That's interesting. Maybe my scouting director sucks. Does he? No, he knows his shit. He's pretty well versed in things, so I think we need to trust him. But it's also possible he just lost a bunch in spring training. That happens pretty frequently. Dennis Bennett, Ruben Gomez. I'm gonna give Wilbur Wood and Mel Stottlemyre both a shot, both a taste of the major leagues. Bob Tillman can have a taste, just a taste. Pat Jarvis, did you pitch for the Orioles as well? No. Oh, you pitched for Atlanta and Montreal. Okay. I think I assumed that everybody in the 1960s pitched for the Orioles, which might be accurate. Oh god, Hank Aaron's getting even better. Fuck me. What a fucking bunch of shit. Bench coach. Divvy it up however you like. I trust you. I trust you. Pitching. We're gonna go with 6 man rotation here and spring training. Al Worthington, huh? Okay. Okay. Wait, so you're gonna bench Mike Cuellar? I don't get it, but as long as he's getting his work in, that's fine. But he is not sitting on the pine for the regular season. I can tell you that for certain. Um, Personal message. Wilburwood got better, which is fantastic. Everybody else either did bad or negative. Yike. You've been awarded one yike. Yeah, you're just going back to the minor leagues. No, he doesn't. I'll just fucking cut him. Like, I don't care. I'm not gonna put him on the 40 man just because you're randomly like, no, he has to be in the major league contract. Sorry. That feels like a dick move. I understand that, but the game forced me to do that. Because I wasn't ever gonna put him on the major league roster, I don't think. So, yeah. I did know that about Wilburwood. I did. Now, Dennis Bennett here has improved significantly. That's fantastic news. We're gonna need pitching up wherever we can get it, and Dennis Bennett seems to be getting better, which is lovely. Wilbur Wood's getting better. Mel Stottlemyre's getting better. Mike Cuellar is getting worse. Johnny Edwards is getting better. Mincher's getting worse. Jorge Talavera is getting better, which is great. That's truly awesome. Pat Jarvis is throwing harder. I love it. And then we're gonna zippity doo dah down to the end of spring training. Oh no, not negotiating between the Orioles and the Braves. Whatever shall we do? Okay, 37 players are on the roster. I think Joe Moeller makes it. I think he's got more upside at the moment than Cuellar does. So Wood and Stottlemyre go back to the minors. They were never going to make this team. It's all about getting them experience. I have 15 pitchers. I think 12 is a good target, so Wilson can go. Woodisick sucks. We can just release him and pay whatever we have to pay. That's fine. Um, um, okay. Bennett and Moeller both make the opening day roster. That I feel confident with. Gerba goes to the minors. Um, are people gonna get pissy? You think if I cut Don Larson, they might. I don't care. He was far below replacement level. And nobody's going to want to trade for him. I can try it, but nobody's going to want him. Unless we're going to dump somebody even more expensive. So yeah, Don Larson, thank you for your service to the Detroit Tigers. You go now. I think returning Mudcat. Oh, we're down to 11 already. Yeah, we're not going to return Mudcat Grant then. Okay. Clear the pitching staff. We're going to pitching ratings, and we're going to make informed decisions about who takes which spots in the rotation. Um, I definitely think Washburn is our quote unquote ace. Worthington 100% is going to be in this rotation. Then I think Roger Craig, but maybe not too. Yeah, Roger Craig's nothing special. Let's put in the two rookies. Let's put in Bennett and Moeller. And then we're going to go and slide in at the back end of the rotation Mike Cuellar. I still have confidence in him. Even if his ratings look bad, his statistics look pretty solid. And I'm willing to give him that opportunity. So that's what we're looking at here. This is going to be our opening day rotation. Um, Stu Miller, 1,000% is our stopper. He is the guy we're going to go to anytime we need big shit. Frank Sullivan is not starting for us ever again. I know he had a good year last year. I guess he did have a good year starting. Um, I want to get the rookies lots of experience. So I guess the question is, would I rather start Frank Sullivan or Al Worthington? Frank Sullivan is a better pitcher. He just doesn't have very much stamina anymore. I think he's better suited to be a reliever at this point in his career. I know he had a good year last year. I understand that. I just think with his loss of stamina, I don't want him trying to pitch 200 innings anymore. So, Frankie, you're going to be a middle reliever slash long reliever. Mudcat, you're going to be my emergency starter and long reliever. Roger Craig is going to be middle reliever, long reliever. When do we get Hoyt Wilhelm back? Where'd he go? Wait. Oh, I was looking at the Cardinals earlier. That makes sense. We don't have Hoyt Wilhelm. He's out walking through that door. And then I think both Daniels and Newman just fill in as middle relievers. I don't really see a need to mess with that. Our bullpen isn't great, and I think we're asking a lot from fairly fairly low tier, fairly young starters. As one of them, not low tier. That's not true, but they are very inexperienced. I also only have 11 pitchers. I don't know how I feel about that. Um, hmm. What if we had Jorge Talavera abandon starting and just be a dominant reliever? What if we did that? I mean, Eli Gerber would be the obvious next choice. I just want to see if he can develop in the minor leagues before I call him up. He's a boozer. John Boozer is decent. I just need him to keep developing before I give him any kind of role on the team. Yeah, let's carry. I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna go for Talavera. This is very weird. I had no intention of doing this, but I think because he throws so hard, he's got a chance to be an excellent relief pitcher. So he's going to be my lefty killer that also, sorry, not a setup. He's going to be a lefty killer, but he's also going to be a middle reliever. And we're just going to see what he accomplishes here. But I want to have a lefty killer in my bullpen, and he's an excellent choice for that role. So he's going to make this roster. Because in 12 players, I think 12 is the right number of pitchers. So let's go ahead and set up our lineup. I have a lot of catchers, a comically huge number of catchers. Tillman to the minors, Edwards to the minors. Gene Oliver's positional flexibility are going to make him beneficial. We're going to keep him on the majors for sure. Russ Nixon isn't very good. So Russ Nixon, let me try to trade you actually. Let me see if anybody wants a piece of Russ Nixon. What do we got? What do we got? Charles Culp is a pretty damn good relief pitcher. I think he is a worthy choice. If I could get Littleton and Culp, I would be all over that. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Taking a mid-tier catcher and turning him into two reasonably good relievers who are only a couple of jumps ahead from being like really good, I think is worthwhile. Done. Not exactly the kind of move that changes rosters, but the kind of move that's still very helpful to have. JC Martin goes to the minors. Who the fuck even is Connie Butler? You just have nothing to offer me. I will try to trade you as well. Like, the world in which Connie Butler is starting games for the Detroit Tigers simply doesn't exist. Dick Stigman is fine. I just don't think he's what I'm looking for. Don Schwal is okay. Man, I'm quickly developing a type here for these really hard throwing relief pitchers. But I think there's value in that. I think there's value in that. James Lee is not bad. If I could get Schwal, oh, Maxwell's also good. I wonder if I could get Maxwell, Lee, and Schwal. I'm probably being greedy, but I'm gonna try it. Would you take this deal? Almost. You're not asking for a ton, I don't think. If you want Bob Tillman, you can have him. I think that's reasonable. No, I'm just gonna drop Schwal. I just don't believe with his control being as bad as it is, I just question whether he'll ever be a great pitcher, but he's got a lot of movement on his stuff. You know what? You can have Bob Tillman. Just for fun, let's shortlist these two and see if they return into anything. But I think that helps restock our minor league system, so I'm comfortable with that. A little bit. Two more dudes gotta go. Landis, Fairley, and Mendoza are all guaranteed spots in the outfield. Do I have too many infielders? I do not. I've got my guys around the horn. I've got Aparicio and I've got Pagan, who's pretty good at second base, which Aparicio can't play. I think if we're getting rid of two more players, it's going to be two outfielders. No, it's got to be an outfielder. And no, I know why it looks worse than it is. It's because of Oliver. But I want Oliver on this roster. I think he offers a lot of flexibility as both a backup catcher and an outfielder. So I can't get rid of two outfielders if I have to. I think Cliff Cook is an obvious choice. However, I don't think anyone else can handle center field behind besides him. I do like Al Spangler as an on base guy. Hmm. I feel like Bob Skinner will always be limited. Because of his skill set, he's supposed to be hitting for average, and he isn't. And if he can't hit for average, he doesn't have a lot else to offer us. Part of this is Tiger Stadium, which slowly suppresses batting average, but not by that much. I mean, you are what your record says you are. And what he is just not a very good outfielder right now. Let me try to trade Bob Skinner and get a decent prospect in return. I want to get younger to the extent that we can. I want to get high quality relief pitcher or high quality players. I like Ted Savage, but he's very, very limited. I don't see a very bright major league career for him. Carl Schwartzberger is pretty decent. Stain Johnson is okay, and he's young enough that he might find another gear offensively. I could get behind that. Let me grab John Hernstein. John Hernstein. And let me also try to get Stan Johnson. If I can get both of them, I think I'm alright. I don't want Clemens that badly. Actually, Mark Gallego is more interesting to me. No, he's not. That's a lie. Um, Lee Stange, not Lee Strange, is okay. He's got some decent pitches. He's got good control. There's value in that. I think we just take what we can get right now, and I think we just take these two people for Bob Skinner. Skinner. Um, I'm gonna shortlist him. I know I just got to saying how we needed more depth in the outfield, but I just don't think he offers that much to the table. What is it gonna take for us to figure out? Okay, this three catchers thing is fucking with me because he's not really a catcher; he's an outfielder. So I think we get rid of one more outfielder. I want to try to get Spangler through waivers if I can. I think he does have a little bit of upside to him. Um, we might lose him, and if we lose him, we lose him, and I'll be sad. But I hope we don't. I hope we're able to keep him around. But I'm gonna take that gamble because we need to keep Cliff Cook as the only person who I can trust to back up center field. Who's also not a bad hitter, by the way. I think he's got some stuff in him. All right, batting ratings, sorting by contact first. Ron Fairley is our best all-around hitter. I think Ron Fairley very naturally will slide into hitting third. Or second with Menyoso hitting third. I think that's actually smarter. Let's do that. And we'll do that for both lineups, for both righties and lefties. Who hits leadoff for us? I think Jim Landis makes sense to hit leadoff for us, and he had an okay year on base wise last year. So yeah, I think Jim Landis is going to go ahead and lead off for us. Who hits cleanup? Like, there's not any good option here, but if there is one, it's Ron Hansen, which is fucking hilarious to me. We are not a good offensive team. Jim Davenport will very easily slot in at hitting fifth. I think that's his best position. Um, yeah. I have so little power on this team. It's wild. Okay, we need second base, first. Oh, where's Mincher? Mincher definitely hit sixth. Gene Oliver is a terrible catcher, but he's also by far the best hitting catcher that we have. Mm, I think we go with Bailey. I think for now, Ed Bailey remains the best choice at catcher for us. And then we're going to let Eddie Casco hit eighth. Alright. Reset my depth charts, please and thank you, game. I don't want Red Wilson playing that frequently. Once a week is fine. Once a week is fine for Oliver to start it first. Offensively, Aparicio is nothing special. That's why I don't get why the AI wants him to play so frequently. So we will be having him, if the starter is tired, then he can come in and relieve them. This is all fine. Because, to be honest with you, I think Gene Oliver's future is in left field. I think that's where he's going to ultimately end up. But for now, I just wanted to get Major League at bats and a chance to show what he can do um, for now. But I think that's his future. I think he's going to replace Minoso once Minoso either craters or just gets too old. So that's going to be our opening day roster. Let me copy this depth chart over and paste it in. There you go. I know it seems silly to take a gold glover like Aparicio and bench him, but here's the problem. We desperately need offense. This team it desperately needs hitting if we're ever going to contribute in a positive way. And I am not missing out on the fact we have no power as a team. And unfortunately for us, that's not going to be fixed anytime soon because we've invested so heavily into pitching over the years. Um, I still stand behind my decisions, but I do think we're going to be hurting in at least the medium term. Where the fuck is Ken Harrelson? Where's the Hawk? The Hawkinator. I don't know. Let's advance to opening day. There's every possibility somebody actually steals Spangler from us, and if they do, they do. But I think it had to happen. I am going to check the waiver wire. If somebody's trying to dump a big power guy, I think we'll probably snap him up. Okay, top 100 prospects. Wilbur Wood slots in at number 8. Amazing. You want me to stay close to 500? I think I can manage that. I feel pretty confident that's going to happen this year. Cy Young winner. How is our team chemistry bad? It's just not good. I think it'll get better over time. I think part of the problem is Don Mincher. If we can find a top tier first baseman somehow, that would be legendary. There ain't nothing here, guys. There's nothing here of interest to anyone, ever. Yeah, I just don't care. Is that the Big Bear? Yeah, it is. Mike Garcia. What a legend. What an absolute unit. Yeah, we're just gonna play baseball at this point. That's unfortunate. I have one good offensive player. You're not allowed to injure him. Okay? It is not permitted. So Spangler immediately gets to go back to the major leagues. Because I need somebody to slot in as an outfielder. Oh, I guess I need to... I think Gene Oliver is actually going to play right field for us while he's injured. Copy and paste line up. And then Oliver slots in at right field. This may be like this is just a chance to get him regular playing time, which I think he can handle. So we'll do that for the first 2 weeks this season. Good job, Cuellar. I love it. We're 7-9, which is about what I expected. Um, Getting fairly back is huge. Al Spangler, take a walk. I didn't I designate you for assignment? I guess I didn't. Okay. Fairly's gonna slot right back into his previous spot without any moment's hesitation. And then we're gonna leave everything else the way it was. I do want Oliver also playing in the outfield. So we're gonna slot him in there too. How is Mr. Oliver doing? He's doing okay so far. 2 home runs is good. It is a good thing. I'm not going to look at the team yet. We're going to need to give him another month to make any decisions that we're going to make. Spangler can be sent to AAA. Excellent news. Any interesting emails here? Milt Pappas. 200 wins for Billy Pierce. Ralph Kiner is going to retire. How good is he in this franchise? He's okay. I think he's going to get a lot of Hall of Fame attention because he had so many home runs. But real life Ralph Kiner was actually better in less time. But this one had just had a longer career. It just, yeah. Lots of home runs. I have a feeling he's going to have a pretty good chance to make the Hall. Stan Musial is an Inner Circle Hall of Famer already in this league. He is real good. 113 WAR. That's got to be one of the best ratings of all time, isn't it? It's got to be up there for career numbers. It's 6th. Look at Mickey Mantle. 13th already. He's going to crack 100 this year easy. What a guy. Man, Ted Williams is a really good baseball player. Who knew? I still can't believe Detroit let him go to the Philadelphia Athletics for nothing because they were just stupid. Either way. Nothing too crazy happening. Oh. Joey J. I remember you. How did you get acquired? Oh, you took him in the expansion draft. Okay. Alright. An old friend, to be sure. Any rookie attention? Oh, Denny LeMaster. Okay. I just don't know why it would extend to anybody when the reserve clause exists. Like, that's just silly. 700 home runs for Ted Williams. Are you joking? Like, there can't be anyone else even close to that, right? Yeah, like, Babe Ruth hit 565, which is damn good. But, like, Ted Williams has 700 home runs. That's incredible. It's almost like if he didn't if he didn't fight in World War II in the Korean War. Fancy that. Mick Mantle's 9th all time in home runs already. What a player. What a player. 300 homers for Yogi Berra. Nice. Ali Reynolds is going to retire. Okay. Okay. Do we have anything noteworthy to note in our schedule this year? It seems like we either score a bunch of runs or we score none. Like we have a game like this one where we scored 13 runs. Thanks to Jim Landis hitting 2 home runs, which is pretty exciting, and Ron Hansen getting 1 as well. This game against the Senators was pretty one-sided. Minnie Minoso had himself a day, which is awesome. And Mike Claire was perfectly fine. This idea that he's all of a sudden terrible for no discernible reason just doesn't make sense to me. Let's start just burning out people's arms, which is very possible. It's very possible that I'm letting people pitch too many innings too young. Oh god, I'm the Dusty Baker of the 1960s. Although I guess you could argue that Dusty Baker's the Dusty Baker 16. Oh, that fucking sucks game. Really unkind of you to injure one of my few high performing outfielders. Spangler comes back. I'm gonna try to trade Red Wilson because I think Johnny Edwards is a pretty good catcher, and I think he's a good player, and I think he's just a better fit for this club right now than you are. So, Mr. Wilson, I will look at regulars and veterans. I need help. Anybody green? I could get Charlie Maxwell, who sucks. Just deeply uninteresting to me. There is Jerome Yelvington. He may be an absolute unit, but not interesting to me. I'm just gonna waive him, and if somebody takes him, they take him, but I don't think they will. So Johnny Edwards gets that spot. Who's gonna lead off for us? And is it gonna be Spangler? No, because Spangler can't play center. Cliff Cook has to play center for us. He's just in a really bad spot to be an on-base guy. I'm going to slot Mincher in, actually, as our leadoff guy while we wait. Everyone else slides up, and then Cliff Cook is going to play center field for us. There you go. Our new everyday... Here, generate me a new depth chart here. I definitely want Edwards playing with a little bit of frequency. I think once every 5 games is good. I think that'll be enough for him to get some meaningful experience. That feels okay. There we go. Done. Nice. Yoso got Batter of the Week. You'd love to see it. Stan Musial has 3,500 hits. Willie Mays, 300 home runs. Losing Jim Landis genuinely hurts. Like, we don't have a deep enough team to be able to absorb many injuries, but that's one we particularly could not absorb. Second best player in the American League is on the IL. Makes me sad. Joe Muller's getting better. Ray Washburn's getting better. Frank Sullivan's getting slightly better. Dom Mincher's getting a lot better. Casco's getting slightly worse. Landis and Fairley are getting better. Good. Charlie Massey's getting better. Cool. Ken Harrelson is getting better. He's just so far away from the major leagues that it's not even worth considering. Batter of the month. Nice. All right. So our pitching staff was meant to be our strength, and it isn't. Our lineup was meant to be our weakness, and it isn't. I don't know how to feel about this. This is the exact opposite of what I expected this roster to look like this year, which is completely nuts to me. None of my pitchers are pitching particularly well. But the lineup is all hitting really well, which is so funny to me. Ron Fairley, Mincher are having great seasons. Vignoso's playing very well indeed. Ron Hansen is playing well. I have one bad hitter in the lineup, and it's the guy who just got added to, which is Cliff Cook. I mean, Eddie Casco is nothing special, but he's there as much for his glove as he is for his bat, so that doesn't really bother me too much. At least he usually puts the ball in play, which is good to see. Yeah, this ain't gonna last. I'm very much expecting this to tilt in the other direction before too much more time passes. The defense is great, so the defense isn't what's holding us back. I don't think. I think it's just the fact this is a low strikeout bunch, which means they're going to put the ball in play, which means shit's going to happen. There's not a lot we can do about that. So the home runs, not a great look. We need to stop that. Looks like as a team, we're all allowing plenty of home runs, which is not amazing. Two of our players are rookies. Two of our starters are rookies, so they're more likely going to be the kind of people to give up gopher balls. But I still think we're doing the best we can. Yeah. We could try Mudcat in the rotation, pull somebody out. But honestly, I think we just kind of have to ride with the horses we got, and see where we go from there. Yeah. Are there any youngsters who are ready for a chance at the big leagues? Wilburwood is getting there. If Wilburwood has a great month of June, I could definitely see him making this roster. I don't think he's very far from it. I just want to see him keep improving his control, which he has been doing, admittedly. But yeah, at the end of at the beginning of July, he looks like he's any better. He'll definitely be getting a spot in this rotation. Nobody wanted Red Wilson, which doesn't surprise me. Damn, Mickey Mantle is leading the league in OPS and most of the Triple Crown stats, or close to it, and yet he's not even in the top three with batter WAR. That's fascinating to me. Cuellar is improving, as I knew he would. Ray Washburn is getting better. Yeah, Wilburwood has to be given a chance at this point. Um, it has to. He has to. They have to. Someone has to. Yeah. Because here's the thing: what's between him and Roger Craig? Roger Craig is 31. That's the only difference. Other than that, he sucks. I'm gonna quickly see if anyone's dumb enough to trade for Roger Craig. They probably aren't, but it's worth a shot. But if they're not, I'm just gonna go ahead and Dick Gurnett is terrible. He is not good. I'm just gonna go ahead and waive him, and if somebody takes him, they take him. But we're gonna call up Wilburwood. It's a very young rotation, very very young. Okay. Ray Washburn is driving the struggle bus this year. I'm gonna go and shift Worthington up, Moeller up. Cuellar can stay where he is, and Washburn is gonna be replaced by Wilburwood. Washburn is gonna go in the bullpen and be used more often. And Frank Sloan's going to be used less often. I think Stu Miller's getting exposed. I think he's just pitching too much. But I think he pitched a lot last year was actually pretty good. We're letting too many home runs as a group. I think this is firing the pitching coach level of issue. Is our pitching coach even any good? He's meant to be really good. So I don't know what his deal is. Maybe he'll figure it out. Okay. This feels like a good idea. At the very least, we're getting players major league experience, so we can see what they can offer the future Tigers, even if we're bad until then. Spangler is going to be waived again. He's like, how many fucking times, bro? All the times. All of them. I kind of don't want to fuck up the vibe of Dom Mincher leading off. And Jim Landis has a fair bit of power. More than Ron Hansen. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to do this. And then we're gonna do this. Is Aparicio better than he is? He's a better defender, that's for certain, but he's also not hitting, so. Let's redo the depth chart, please. You're not getting to play every 5 games at third base when Davenport's hitting quite well. He's actually not hitting that well, but how did Cliff Cook do in his? He did poorly. Okay, okay. We need a genuine backup center fielder. We need him yesterday, so that is something else to be thinking about. Anyways, the man is back. The man, the myth, the legend, Jim Landis has returned. Okay, okay. Oh, let's see who makes the All Star team from. Like, I have a feeling Menyoso's got a chance to make it. Um. Oh, he didn't. Okay. Ron Fairley made it. And that's it. Honestly, we probably only deserved one player. I'm a little surprised that Manny Menyoso didn't get consideration, but they apparently decided to take no left fielders this year, which is funny. Um, that's fine. Like, none of my players are playing out of their minds, so I think it's reasonable to only have the one All-Star. Let's go right up to the trading deadline. There go both of you. Okay. 3 rookies in a rotation is definitely an interesting strategy. That's clearly not going to pay off, but okay, what are you offering me? Whatever. Louis Tiant is really fucking good. I don't want to give up Gene Oliver though. Okay, if I remove Gene Oliver, who else would you take? You would take my backup catcher. Honestly, that's fine. That is completely fine. Can we do better? I don't see how. Should you be giving up Ken McMullen, which you won't, or one of your amazing hitters, which you won't? You can't play center field. Bob Serve kind of can, but I just don't think that works for me. I think I just take this trade. Louis Tiant is so. Johnny Edwards is really good though. Let me start by offering you one of my starters. What if I offered you Al Worthington? Okay, that gets us more choices. Good. I'll offer you Louis Aparicio. That definitely got your attention. If you want repose here, I think I'm okay with that. I'd rather give you Jimmy Hall, actually. I'm sold on this deal. I think it makes a lot of sense. Um, yeah, done. Louis Tiant is such a special starting pitcher. That was worth it. Where'd he go? Oh, he's not in the majors yet for some stupid reason. That's going to change. Hie thee to the major leagues post haste. and you're gonna instantly slot in as my ace. This has to be the youngest rotation I've ever had in OOTP. But we're gonna run these rookies out there, and they're gonna pitch, and they're gonna do great. What did I lose? Oh, I lost Louis Aparicio. Where's that one dude? Charlie Massey. Let's get you in the major leagues and generate depth chart. That's great. That's great. I know this is a very raw rotation, but if they all end up anywhere near their talent level, we're going to have one of the best rotations in the major leagues, and it's not going to be terribly close. So I'm really pumped for that. And I think this is what we have to lean in on. We have to lean in on leveraging our pitching staff to the extent that we can. Poor Veda Pinson. Is that Hank Bauer? Yeah, it is. The native of the United States, like the Ohio State University. Um, I mean, real life Hank Bauer was a little bit better than you were, but you were still a pretty effective player. I think there's no shame in that. Are Sears and Roebuck on the move? Probably not. 2,000 hits for Willie Mays. Nice. A cycle for Frank fucking Robinson. Trade deadline. Okay. We need hitting. I say that consistently, even though we have the second best offense in the American League. Maybe I just need to accept the fact we're actually a lot better than we look. Either way. Um yeah, I just don't think we trade anything. I don't think there's anything in particular that I'm like we have to have. I wouldn't mind an upgrade to the bullpen, and I would be willing to pay a little bit for that. I think that would be something that has value for us. So let's take a look here. We could get Whitey Ford or Kurt Simmons. That would be pretty amazing. But that would also probably cost me a lot. Like, a lot, a lot. What would that cost me? Way too fucking much. I don't think so, man. Yeah, I'm not making that deal. Sorry, mate. I kind of want to get a veteran starter to help support the young guys, but I don't want to pay a lot for them. Oh, Chris Simmons doesn't want to be traded. Duly noted. Eh. Jim Pearsall's a really great reserve outfielder, but the thing is, he's not going to want to be a reserve. Not for that salary. So, I don't think so. Charlie Maxwell is okay. I just wish he had a little bit more experience in center field because that's what we need. We need a young center fielder. Gene Woodling, of course. Of course. Oh, Bill Tuttle wouldn't be a bad acquisition, actually. Yeah, let's go after him. Let's get Bill Tuttle. And I will happily hand you just about any outfielder in the system. You want Cliff Cook? You can have Cliff Cook. Yeah. Do I really want to give you a young player for him when he's only going to be a backup? I don't think so. I'd much rather give you an existing outfielder. What about Cliff Cook? Yeah, I don't want him that badly, especially since he's already 32. Um, I don't think that's useful to me. A little too rich for my blood. Um, mm, Don McMahon is a pretty talented pitcher. I actually would be willing to trade for him. Stabilize the bullpen a little bit. How much would that cost me? It's where the same names keep being offered here. I will happily give you Red Wilson for him. It's not a big move in the long term, but we do need better pitchers in the major leagues, and I think he offers us. I'm actually going to send Ray Washburn back to the minors, and we'll see if he can manage anything there. Um, so new guy Don McMahon, welcome to the bullpen, and you're going to be our middle reliever that we use more often. Done. I like having a deep bullpen. I think it's an important value to have in this time in history. Um, yeah. Donald Littleton. Oh, I traded for you, didn't I? Yeah, that's true. William McWilliams, so I think I drafted solely because of his name. Oh yeah, it's still a trade deadline, isn't it? Yeah. I'm gonna clear this trade, and I don't think I want anything there. Louis Tiant was my deadline acquisition. I'm just gonna end the day. I don't want anything else. Wilberwood is continually getting better, which I love to see. It's great. Mike McCormick of the Baltimore Orioles. Dean Chance, Rookie of the Month. Okay. Okay. We have four fucking rookie pitchers in our rotation, yet not even one of them can get a vote. I see. I see. Chiant, Moeller, Bennett, Wood, and then Cuellar. Cuellar's the old man of the rotation at 24. That's hilarious. But if these guys all develop, and we've got a really good pitching coach, I think we're going to be a special franchise. I truly believe that. Great young pitching isn't easy to find. Yeah, you're not going to start, Frankie. Tiant threw a fucking shutout in his major league debut. What an absolute legend. Oh my god, Jim Landis is fucking hurt again? Can you stop? Can you actually stop? Can you cease? It's an elbow injury. Yeah, he's going to be out for a long time, I bet. Now all of a sudden, my decision not to grab a center fielder seems to be especially silly. Uh, did Louis Tiant really throw a shutout in his major league debut? He did, and then pitched much worse in his second game, but that's okay. It's okay. Oh, right. This guy. Who are you? Oh, did I trade for you? I did. Mm, you're okay. Let me put you on the 40 man, and then I guess you can take Talavera's spot. Let Talavera get some more experience in the major leagues. That makes sense to me. Minor leagues, excuse me. There he goes. Stan Johnson can handle center field. I think he is a worthy call up just because I literally have nobody better. There's nobody else that is near Major League ready that is worthy of the opportunity. Hawk Harrelson is still very far away from that, so we're gonna make Stan Johnson play center field for us. Everyone else I guess shifts up. No, Ron Hansen can hit cleanup again. No, he can't. Everyone else shifts up. We can do that. Can do that. And then Stan Johnson plays center field for us. He's just a better center fielder than Cliff Cook is, so if the guy can't hit, you might as well have the best infielder, right? Or the best fielder. No. Copy depth chart. And roster expansion time. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think we're gonna win the pennant this year. I just have a feeling. Ron Fairley is a low-key MVP candidate this year. It feels kind of bad because he's not getting the attention he deserves, but he is decent. Wilburwood's getting better. Muller's getting better. Other guys about the same, I guess. Dane Johnson, Ron Fairley, Scott Breeden. Mel Stottlemyre's improving, which is nice. You can always have more pitching. More pitching is more good. Yeah. I give up. I give up. I guess we should have seen if anybody wanted to call up and give a cup of coffee to, but we're going to finish around 500. That was our mandate from our owner. And unlike many of my teams, if we just have a year of normal development and some big time moves, I think we're just going to be better with the same roster. Because the rotation is so young and yet has such upside, if we just keep working with them, we're going to be a competitive team. And competitive is what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the postseason. That's not a realistic aspiration for this team right now. I don't have the top flight offensive talent to do that for us. You know what? You've been a good boy all off season. You can go and set the lineup any way you wish. You've earned it. Enjoy your last couple weeks. This being the second best lineup in the American League? Really? Really? I guess we should have given him the money up front. Well, that was a waste of a free agent signing. Damn. All right. All right. You got to do what you got to do, man. You got to do what makes your life happy. How are the Cardinals still in it? Isn't the season almost over? I don't know how the Cubs haven't clinched already. Tiant's getting better. Moller's about the same. Cuellar's getting better. Bennett's getting better. Oliver got a little worse. Mincher got a tiny bit better, but in the thing we don't need as much help with. Dell Maxwell's getting better. Sandy Alomar's getting better. Nice. A different rookie of the month every year, and none of them belong to me. SMH my head. 1882 is not too bad. It's not too bad. Billy Williams won a batting title, as did Roberto Clemente. And it looks like it's Baltimore and Chicago in the World Series this year. Okay. And a second consecutive World Series for the Baltimore Orioles. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. A lot of old, a lot of former Avgardian picks on that team, I think. I mean, I had Roberto Clemente, that's for sure. But he also wasn't available to me, so yeah. Yeah, I feel like as our players get older, they're going to improve, and we're going to go from having a mid-tier rotation to one of the best. I kind of think that's our play here. I would love a veteran starting pitcher who really knows what they're doing to maybe help teach the young guys. But I still believe in this rotation's future, and I think that's what's going to carry us to the postseason if anything does. Um, I would love for a top tier hitter to join this team. And I'm not saying that Ron Fairley isn't. Ron Fairley will very well might finish second in the MVP voting this year. But he's not the kind of guy that can take over a game. I need more power pretty desperately. I just don't think a major league team can be successful if they don't have a certain degree of power, in my opinion. Right. I got a new contract for 2 more years. He is happy. He's really happy about Mignoso. I know you wanted a Cy Young winner. It's going to take some time, my dude. I can definitely ignore your request until the last minute. That's 100% what I'm going to do. Okay, fine. So, what went well this season? Who were our big contributors, and who can we hope for even more from next year? I really wish the game would stop randomly changing positions. That drives me up the fucking wall. Anyways. So, Ron Fairley was awesome. He had a great year last year, was even better this year. He just got better at everything, which is amazing. Not by a huge amount, but by just a little bit. He's also a Gold Glove caliber defender in right field, which is excellent. Um, yeah, he just had a fantastic season, a truly exceptional one, and I'm glad that we have him. Ron Hansen does think I'm not consistent. If his offense was a little bit better last year, I think his defense was a little bit better this year. A very highly skilled shortstop and one worthy of his role. Jim Linus has to stay healthy. If he's healthy all year, I think the season looks quite different. Because he had an awesome year, he just didn't play enough. Jim Davenport was a risky decision. Luis Aparicio just came off of winning a Gold Glove, but I wanted more offense, and we got it with him. He's certainly not a flawless offensive contributor, but he's a really good one, and he also is a pretty good third baseman on top of it. Manny Mignoso continues to have a late career renaissance. He played 159 games, 17 homers, 307 average, on base all the time. He was a dude this year, a genuine dude. His best year since 1957. 1957 was arguably better because he didn't play every game that year, but excellent. Ed Bailey, a little tick off, but still a pretty talented offensive catcher who also plays defensively pretty well. Dom Mincher had a good season. I think his problem is he's not driving baseballs enough. For a guy with this much power, I should be seeing 30 home runs a year. I don't think that's too much to ask, but he is getting on base at a really good clip. I think he just needs to hit the ball more frequently. Eddie Casco turned in a pretty fine season, although again his die is mostly defensive. He's just not a very good hitter. So bench was decent. Johnny Edwards had an amazing rookie season off the bench. Stan Johnson was pretty helpful. We need more depth, obviously. I still believe in Gene Oliver. I still think he's got something to offer us. So I'm not going to give up on him just yet. Our pitching is probably going to look pretty bad. Our best starter was Wilbur Wood. Nobody else was worth even a full war. We got plenty of innings. That is true. But we gave up way too many home runs this year. That was our undoing. Way too many home runs. I don't think it's any coincidence that our best pitcher is the one who didn't give up very many home runs. But a lot of them just didn't have a lot of innings. And I think the sky's the limit for this rotation. I truly believe that all these pitchers have another gear to offer us. And that when they're able to capitalize on that, they're going to look mighty good. Mighty, mighty good. I'm going to need to give up on Mike Cuellar. We might need to figure something to do with him. Dennis Bennett had a rough year, and this is exactly why. You can't lead the league in giving up home runs. That's just not the way to do your business. He'll get better, I'm sure, but he is a work in progress, as is this entire pitching staff. Stu Miller's backsliding was also a contributing factor. Another guy gave up more home runs, but more for him, it's the reduced strikeouts. It's just really important for relievers to be able to strike people out. And as a whole, we struggle with strikeouts all season. Like Benny Daniels was our best strikeout to walk ratio on the club, and he even wasn't that great at because he also walked everybody. So definitely room for improvement across the board. However, I think we're a very good pitching staff, and I think there's so much talent here that with the right leadership and just the right development, that we're going to have a fantastic rotation. And then you're going to see us make some noise. You're going to see us make a lot of noise. And I'm looking forward to that moment. We're not there yet, though. We're not even close. Also, big shout out to Mudcat Grant, who threw 100 innings of above replacement level baseball. Not what I expected at all, but something that we needed. So, where are we drafting this year? We are selecting 13th again. Is this draft deep at all? I have a feeling it probably isn't. It is not. Mm, mm. Like, this is the range of players we're going to be wanting to look at here. Would I love some of these higher ranked guys? I would be very pleased to add a guy like a Bob Bailey to our roster. I think he'd be a huge offensive contributor. Rusty Staub, yes, please, but neither one of them are going to make it to me. Not a 13. Not a 13. Jimmy Wynn is the toy cannon, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is just not a very deep. This is not a very high caliber draft. I think there's a reasonable amount of depth here, but we're only going to get one reasonably good player, I think. Don't sleep on Jim Fregosi. Jim Fregosi would be a nice addition to this club as somebody that's really well established. But we need outfielders pretty desperately. I think we're going to take the best available outfielder when we draft. Short of like Fergie Jenkins falling to me, but Dave May would be pretty nice. Didn't you draft? Oh, I'm thinking of somebody else. It was last year. Yeah. Right, that's going to conclude today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed the episode and you're enjoying the series thus far. If you are, please remember to like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know how you think we're doing and anything we could do better. Until next time, this has been UpGuardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.